Right, hello, welcome to the last video on the solutions to the second homework. This is changing the subject of the formula. I gave you a lot of questions on this one, that's because it's good to just get practice for this, because changing the subject is something that you can use to do so many other things. We use the compound measure, and it's just a great tool to have at your disposal, and if you can do it without any effort, it really helps you out, and it can really be that difference, pushing a grade boundary. So right, let's go into it. So like I say, I've included a lot of questions because these aren't too difficult. Number one, make P the subject of the formula. So we want P by itself. So what we're going to do, we're going to subtract 3n from both sides. So m minus 3n equals 2p. Now we're going to divide both sides by 2 to get half of m minus 3n equals p. That is the question, answer to part A. Part B, make C the subject of the formula. We're going to add 4 to both sides. So a plus 4 equals 3c. Then we're going to divide both sides by 3. So we're going to get a third of a plus 4 equals c. Part 3, make B the subject of the formula. We're going to take 2a off both sides. So p minus 2a equals 2b. Divide both sides by 2. So we're going to get half of p minus 2a equals b. Make C the formula, add 4 both sides. So f plus 4 equals 3c. Divide both sides by 3 to get a third of f plus 4 equals c. The last one, make T subject to the formula. We're going to take 30 off both sides. Just make sure I'm recording. I am recording, brilliant. So u minus 30 equals 17. We're going to divide both sides by 7, declare that coefficient. We're going to get 1/7 of u minus 30 equals t. I'm going to just do that again, just so it's a bit clearer. U minus 30 is t. That is the first part of this homework. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, I didn't do the thing for any of these. Oh, that's a shame. Nope. Oh, I've got to unfoul this all up. Right. That. Then just go next. Okay, these ones are slightly more complex. Make T subject to the formula. So we're going to take u off both sides. So v minus u equals 5t. Then we divide both sides by 5 to get t being equal to 1/5 of v minus u. Okay, make y subject to the formula. So we're going to take 2 off both sides. So x minus 2 at a minus, sorry, equals 3y. Divide both sides by 3. So we're going to get, that is a shameful attempt at an arrow. I'm going to try that again. We're going to get a little arrow, perfect. Okay, so y equals 1/3 of x minus 2. Right, this time, this is a bit trickier. We're looking to make x a formula, but x has a coefficient of a half. So what we're going to do, we're going to just double everything. We're going to times both sides by 2. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times a half is x. 2 times 1 is 2. Now, we're just going to subtract 2 from both sides. So x equals 2y minus 2. That is our answer. And this one again is a bit similar. We're going to multiply everything by 4. We're going to clear this, we're going to get rid of the fraction by multiplying everything by the denominator, i.e. the bottom number. So 4 lots of s is 4s. 4 lots of a quarter of a is a, so we've cleared that denominator. 8 times 4 is 32u. So now we're going to subtract 32u on both sides. So a becomes 4s minus 32u. That is our answer. Right. So let's go on to the next slide. Again, these ones are a little bit trickier, but just ignore the things that are there to confuse you. Make u subject to the formula. So we just treat this big thing as just one thing. So we take it off both sides, take k t squared off both sides. D minus k t squared equals ut. Then we can divide everything by t on both sides because we're looking for u only. We get u equals d minus k t squared all over t. You can also express this as d over t minus kt, whichever one works for you, that's fine. Make s the subject of the formula. Again, we're just going to take off u squared from both sides. So v squared minus u squared equals 2as. And now we're just going to divide both sides by 2a. So we just get left with the s. So we get the s equals v squared minus u squared over 2a. And these two questions are quite interesting because these two formulas are formulas that you get given in physics. So the first one is the distance given the initial time, the initial speed, sorry, the time, and k stands for I'm not sure what k stands for. Oh, it should be, well, I was under the impression that that was acceleration, but apparently not. Okay. And the second one, this is the end speed, this is the initial speed, a is acceleration, and s is distance, so you use that to find one of the unknown variables. But, like I say, just ignore that. Just focus on these answers. Let's go on to the next part. Make t subject to the formula. So, we're going to divide both sides by 2. So, t minus 5 equals y over 2. Making that a bit clearer as a 5. Then we're going to add 5 to both sides. T equals y over 2 plus 5. Make n subject to the formula. So this is a nice easy one. We add 21 to both sides. We can separate that. So we're going to have m plus 21 equals 5n. Divide both sides by 5, and we get the fifth of m plus 21 equals n. The last one, make q subject to the formula. Again, this is nice and easy. We take 10 off both sides. So we get p minus 10 equals 2q, divide both sides by 2, and we get that a half of p minus 10 equals q. Next question. This one, I think this is the final one? Yeah. This one is tricky because it has a square root sign, and that is there to throw you, but it's just about remembering how to inverse a square root sign. What do you do to get rid of that square root sign? And the opposite of square rooting something is squaring it. If we have the number 9 and we square rooted it, we would get 3. To go back to 9, we would square the 3, and that takes us back to 9. So we've square rooted, and then we've squared. So one is the opposite of the other. So with this, we're looking for h, so we're going to square both sides. Squaring a square root cancels itself out. So we get that d squared equals 3h over 2. Next thing we're going to do, multiply both sides by 2 to get rid of that bottom number. So 2d squared equals 3h. Finally, we're going to divide both sides by 3 to get rid of that coefficient on the h. So we get 2/3 of d squared, and with this d is not part of the bottom number, it's just multiplying by the 2/3, equals h. I'll write that in a bit nicer way. 2d squared over 3 equals h. That is our answer for h. Right, I hope that was helpful. That is the final video on the solution 2 on the homework 2. I'll get to work on setting you some homework 3. But yeah, like I said, I hope this was useful. Anything else I can do, you got my email down there, I think now. It's a bit weird doing that, but yeah, if you look down here, you should see the email that I've put on the video. Email that email and let me know what I can do to help. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.